How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am the curator for the Golden Age, and this is another...
Lost Heroes of the Golden Age.
Yes, this is Lost Heroes of the Golden Age. Now, the hero we're reviewing today wasn't originally something I had planned.
What a surprise, another accidental discovery.
Not in the way that you would think. The hero that I'm originally planning on doing does come out of Gleason comics, and so does this one. And I found myself reading the Captain Battle comics, and that's how I came across this guy. So this wasn't me just randomly flipping. This is me actually discovering something. So, yes accident, no accident? So, we'll do the hero that I was planning on doing next week.
Forgetting about this guy too, huh?
No, I'm not going to forget about this guy. I had a template written. I just didn't want to do him yet. So, no, I haven't forgotten about it.
You've done that before.
I've done that with one other person, and I will still find it and review it. Shut up. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I stumbled upon this one while I was still in the same publication, just a different comic book. And this is a interesting enough one-off hero. Now, he does technically have 2 appearances, but the second appearance in Captain Battle number 1 was also shown in number 5, but number 5 is a complete reprint of number 1, every single story. So, this is an interesting enough hero. He comes out of Yugoslavia, which is a little unusual because even if we're covering Americans in another country, we're usually covering Americans, and this guy is Yugoslavian. And he's also a chemically enhanced superhero. I want to say it's not very common, but as I read more and more comic books in the Golden Age, I'm finding out that things were a lot more common than I thought before. I've seen technologically based, radiation based, alien powers, ray guns or something, but this one was just pure chemicals that created him after a bombing. So I want to say that it's not very common, but I might find more like this. But he is an interesting enough character and has an interesting power base. And I know Gleason recently did a revival. I think it was 2020, so I don't know how recent that would be. And this guy is set to be brought back, I would think, because he has an interesting set of powers. Of course, he's only got a one-shot, and he was a backup feature in the Captain Battle comic, so a lot of people might not remember him. So, let's bring him back. Okay, what we are doing is we are doing Blackout, one-shot, on this Lost Heroes of the Golden Age. Blackout, Basil Brusiloff, first appeared in Captain Battle Comics number 1 in 1941. The original publisher is Lev Gleason, and he was created by Don Rico. Now, if you look at the first Captain Battle comic, it says New Friday publication, which is actually one of the titles that's listed under Lev Gleason. Like we found out with like Ajax Farwell, how they have a number of things under them. Okay, this is a one-and-done hero, but even though he has 2 appearances, he appears on Captain Battle number 1 and number 5, but number 5 is number 1. It's an exact reprint, so this is technically a one-and-done hero. So, I don't want to go too much into this. Everything is explained in the story, so let's go ahead and let's get into this, and you'll know everything there is about Blackout. Blackout. I think this is a pretty cool splash page. Droning motors overheard warn the people of bomb-infested cities that a killer worse than the plague has come. Bombs! The only protection from the Mandarin Scourge comes when a curtain of night drops over the city like a guardian cloak. But spiraling above the city from the foreign ruins, there appears another defender of humanity. He is Blackout, friend of the oppressed. And yes, I did emphasize some words because they were highlighted. War is murder in uniform. Douglas Gerald. I'm not going to disagree with the statement, although I'm not familiar with the auditor of that statement. Okay. Belgrade, Yugoslavia. I actually think that this is kind of cool. We're covering a Yugoslavian hero. April 1941. A mountainous whale pierces the ears of men and women caught in the maelstrom of war. It's an air raid, and as thunderous blasts echo through the streets. To the shelters, quick! The endless progression of bomb victims stream into the Belgrade Medical Hospital, where Basil Bursalov works feverishly under the light of the emergency lamp. So we see that a lot of people are coming in and taking refuge in the city. I mean, they're bomb dropping everywhere, so people need to be seen by the doctor. And we see that our hero, Bursalov, is... Well, it says he's in the laboratory, so that probably gives us a little bit of hint to what's going to happen next. They start dropping bombs on the facility, and I don't agree with them dropping bombs in a hospital because it's supposed to be a place of refuge. But, I mean, these guys are just trying to destroy the city, so they probably don't care where the bombs are being dropped. And our hero's yelling at the planes. Doesn't this accursed devil know that this is a hospital? Well, he might not. Dr. Bursalov hysterical pleads can never be heard by the gaunt pilot who drops his cargo. Death on the hospital roof. So the explosion falls. It takes out the entire hospital, apparently except for the laboratory room, because he gets blasted back and these chemicals start going everywhere. Yeah, a chemically made superhero is not something I've done a lot of coverage of. So we see him undergoing a change with these chemicals and flames. The choking fumes evaporate and a new mystification concedes as Dr. Bursalov's clothes disintegrate off his body, and my body is turned black, deeper than night. And this is one of those cases where he immediately wants to become a hero. I mean, I feel the mighty command of 1,000,000 souls who have perished from oppression and the struggle to keep democracy alive, appealing me to carry on the ideals. I mean, I heard 1,000,000 souls cried out and ended all at once. Yes, it seems a lot like the Force before the Force. And then he's going to call himself Blackout, which, I mean, what else are you going to call yourself at this point? The Shadow? Well, that one's already taken. So a couple hours later, we see these pilots talking to each other, and as many times as I've covered heroes, and I've seen the word and seen the symbols of Nazis, this is the first time I've seen this. Under this continued bombing, the capital will soon fall. Spoken like a true Aryan. And if anybody is triggered by that word, I completely understand. That was the very first reaction when I read that word out loud too. So we see them dropping more bombs, and as they're trying to... It looks like he's trying to bomb just regular houses. Blackout comes and starts leading the bombs away, with the blackout gas shooting from pores in his body. Wow, okay. Blackout bakes sharply and forces the exhausting smoke, throws the bombs off course, and they explode harmlessly in the Salvo River to the north side of the city. So they see what was going on, and it must be a secret weapon we heard rumors about. You guys heard rumors of a dark man taking missiles out? Well, I mean, he has been created for 12 hours now. I mean, it does say 12 hours later. It's possible that word has gotten to them by then. So Blackout decides to go after the planes. And let's see. It seems like there's only one plane now. I know there were two planes, but there only seems to be one now. So he trails the plane and makes a plume of smoke that not only obscures their vision, but gets into the cabin as well and causes them to not be able to breathe. So then the plane crashes into the side of the building, As he happens to spy the wreckage, he notices another thing going on. Of course, one thing always leads to the other. A pitiful sight is revealed to Blackout as he sees hundreds of beragged people marching wearily under vicious prods of keen-eyed bayonets. So he sees a lot of people be marching, and then one person passes out, because they're exhausted. It even says, I'm exhausted, can't move. Blackout comes in, I bet you hit your own mother. Not every time does there need to be a quip. And we also see the swastika there on the guy's sleeve. So we see him take out the guards, and he starts talking to the people that were being ushered. What insult to justice is this? Guards beating women, hungry men? We are prisoners from the occupied land, drafted into labor. They chain us to machines and make us manufacture tanks. If we refuse, they force us to march in yards all day. Well, if they force you to march, you're not getting any work done. I say they're not fit for work. Okay, so they're not fit for work. Quick in line, here comes more guards. And, they see Blackout there to save them, but they're so ingrained by their oppressors that they just automatically get back in the line again. The hasty warning sends the hapless people scurrying back into line as Blackout wisely draws away. So, they're so oppressed that they automatically get back in the line even though they were saved by him. So he gets to the factory and he knocks out one guard and wants to know who's in charge. Stop, I'll tell you, it's Henrik Himmel. And just then he turns. Could you be looking for me? I am Himmel. Bah. Shoot both of them. I have no time to waste on traitorous guards and blackened fools. And I wanted to say he's bulletproof, but he never actually gets shot. So I don't know if him being blackened like this would make him bulletproof. In a flash, he flies around quickly and creates a wall of smoke so they can't see him. And it looks like he punches all three of them at once. He says he needs to get away and the smoke will cover his escape. And Blackout can't see Himmel, so he goes into the factory and talks to one of the workers. Who are you? Shush. Freedom is here for you. I thought your name was Blackout. Okay, so he whispers the plan. He's like, I don't know if it will work, but he'll try. And his plan goes all throughout the factory, and everybody starts hearing what Blackout had planned. For one ominous moment, silence lingers through the factory. Then, the whirling machinery grinds to a halt as howling voices ring out. No more work for us. We demand peace, bread, and freedom. You want bread and then freedom? So you want to get fed and then let go. Down with Himmel. Liberty or death. Liberty or death. That's very American of you. We're in Yugoslavia. Okay, so Himmel starts coming out there. I'll give you freedom. I'll give you freedom. Bah. Guards, unchain them and march them in yards until they collapse. Freedom. Bah. Okay, so he thinks that his plan is working out because they're taking everybody out of the factory and he charges down at them and they start shooting at him with the machine guns. That's a Gatling gun. Okay, and he actually trains it on the people and he says, if you don't give up, we'll shoot the people. And I don't think that was part of Blackout's plan. So he says that he's going to put him in an airtight room where he will die from suffocation. Blackout is ruthlessly thrown into a steel-grilled cell, and the airtight door is shut. Ooh, I wonder how many victims of this torture chamber has claimed. Say, they're drawing the air out now. Now, he finds himself having difficulty breathing, and Himmel starts whipping all the people. And the next panel, we see a giant, what looks like an explosion, because it's boom marked in black. And he said that he exuded so much pressure that it blew the chamber open. And I have done more scientific research on doing these Golden Age heroes to see if something like these things are possible. And I know about pressure in a containment vessel. So I think that if you exert enough pressure, you're going to blow a capsule open. So I know a little bit about pressure. Okay, this is for justice. I love this line. This is for justice, liberty, equality, and anything else I can't think of right now. That is awesome. Okay, so they take out the guards, but they can't seem to find out where Himmel is. So he goes to where the tanks are being made, and he finds out that Himmel is rolling out in one of the tanks. So as he charges for them, he also dodges another line of fire. Now to fill that slave driver so full of smoke, he'll think he's in Hades. Now, it says a peephole, but I also think that these holes are also designed to bring air in, because these tanks are so tightly sealed, there's no air getting in, so it's like a breathing hole. So he plunges in a whole lot of smoke, and Himmel needs to escape so he can, get out and breathe. That's better. This guy must be the devil himself. I said he was suffocating. As soon as he gets out, Blackout confronts him and starts beating him up. And tosses him to the men and women. Mercy! No! So Himmel is given a beating by the Friends group, as only a crowd driven mad by pent-up hatred can give. Make us march, will you? Help! Mercy! I'll give you mercy. Take this. Okay. And he says that Himmel has had enough. And so Blackout makes this tunnel, and all the tanks start going into the blackened tunnel, and they start making it out of the weapons manufacturing area. So it looks like he's giving these tanks to the people, which, that'd be good if they're getting air bombed. Okay, the last tank rolls through as the smoke barrier fades away. Wow, we've made it. Freedom is ours. We'll read these last two panels. You did it, Mr. Blackout. We're free again thanks to you. You are the crusader against oppression. Long live Blackout. Thank you, everyone. The authorities here will treat you with respect when the hostilities are over. I'm sure your land will welcome you back, and you will never be slaves of brutal tyranny. Tyranny? I want to say tyranny, but that might be pronounced tyranny. And then we actually finally see the guy's name right here at the very end, which usually you would see that at the beginning. Alright, that's Blackout. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little bit about Blackout. If there are more characters that you'd like to see that come out of Liv Gleason, go ahead and let me know. I actually like doing characters from them. They're pretty well constructed for the most part. There are others that I still want to review, but there might be more backup and one-shots that I don't know about. So, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. My one that I was originally going to do is coming out next week, and I know you'll enjoy that one. So, till then, I'll be seeing you.